Escaping America. Yes, in this video we're gonna be talking about black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, all the people, all the people. They just want to escape America. They say the new American dream is to be able to make the money here in the United States, to just, earn your money here and be able to live in another country. So this video is escaping America, and we're just gonna go over to some experience of people that have moved. And if it just crossing your mind, it cross my mind occasionally, okay? But I have my kids, so I cannot just leave. If it cross your mind, escaping to another country, here I have all the details. African countries, Asian countries, European countries, South American countries, I have it all. So stay towards the end because you're just gonna be enjoying this video so much.
So I'm leaving America and I'm moving to Istanbul, Turkey in 38 days. And so I feel like 30 days would have been the countdown, but right now it's a countdown for me because I have to do so much. And I'm just going to document from this point on everything that I have to do in order for me to successfully move to Istanbul. This is Casa, and I obviously am bringing my cat along with me, duh. We're going to start from the present moment. So tomorrow in the morning, I have to take Kaza to go get his rabies shot. And I'm also going to be filling out my single status affidavit thing. Basically start my process of obtaining my marriage papers so that I am able to get married successfully when I move to Istanbul with my man. So basically what I have left to do is get my marriage papers, get Kaza's vaccines and everything cleared, and I also have to sell all of my things. I am throwing away all of my clothes and I'm just gonna get a whole new wardrobe when I get there. And honestly, I don't even wear half the stuff that I have anyway. So if you're interested in seeing anything that I have as far as my clothes and shoes, my Depop link will be in the link in my bio. It's currently 1 p.m. right now and I have to go to work at 3 o'clock. So I'm about to go ahead and fill out my single status paper so I can get it signed at like a UPS office tomorrow. And I'll just catch you all up on like my appointment and then Kaza's rabies shot and things tomorrow. But yeah, it's time to get ready to pack up and go. I'm super excited.
If you want to escape Trump's America, please let me know what questions you have and what's holding you back. Because I've lived in 20 countries across 5 continents in my adult life, and I want to use all of that experience to help others escape and do the same thing. You do not have to live under an authoritarian regime. Your life can be better. You can move to Europe, move to Asia, move to Australia or New Zealand. I've done all of those things, and you can too. So what is holding you back? Is it budget? Is it work? Please let me know, ask specific questions, and I will do my best to make a video and write a comment helping you, because I want to use my life experience to better yours.
Give yourself permission to pivot. Last year, I packed up my entire life, sold everything, and I moved to Mexico. This decision was made after being a hairdresser for well over a decade, making a lot of money, but I honestly felt like I was repeating the same year for the last 5 years. I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to start over. I wanted to do something new. I wanted to be known for something outside of what I had been known for forever. God was nudging me in the direction to start over because life just started to get hard for no reason. I was dealing with depression. I had some financial issues. My business was now tanking. The business that I started and I poured all this love in, I felt like it was turning against me. Then I remember 2 words from God. The very first one was, if it's heavy, put it down. So basically meaning that if life is getting hard, if life is getting noisy, if this business is getting too hard for you to maintain and it's starting to cost you mental strain, put it down for a season and get yourself together, because if you're not right, you're not gonna be able to run this. The second thing was let it go or lose it. This word was in regards to my house and to my business as well. I had so much of my identity caught up in being a entrepreneur and being a homeowner, and it was like, that is not your identity. So let it go or lose it. I let it go It blessed me financially. I was able to come here and start over my life and decide what I wanted to do next. I was able to turn the page. So let it go. It has been a year and 4 months in Mexico. I was able to bless myself with an entire year off of work while I figured myself out and got me right up here. I was able to silence all the noise that life had by moving here so I could hear God. I was able to realign myself for what's next for me. So if you're in a place where you want to start over and you feel like you have been living the same year after year, do not wait until you get to the end of your life and realize that you've lived the same year for over 50 years. Give yourself permission to turn the page, give yourself permission to start a new chapter, and most importantly,
Time to let go. Maybe you're just gonna go like at the Frozen song, let it go, let it go. I don't know who have been thinking that it's time to let it go. Maybe America, maybe take a break. But if you just, if those thoughts been crossing your mind, let me tell you that you are in the right place. Okay, you are in the right place for you can just explore the possibilities. The possibilities are endless. Okay, so if you want to escape the United States, if you want to go live in another country, if you want to experience something different, this is the right place. Okay, for you can explore the possibilities.
The matter is, I felt my safest self. And safe is relative, but I mean safe to be my authentic self, safe to express myself in the way that I really desire to express myself. That feeling of safeness I've only felt outside of the United States. And me living in Mexico as an African American woman, I've never felt discrimination from the Mexican people. When I have felt discrimination, it's been from Americans. Let that sink in. And let's be honest, the pow activity that's going on in the schools in the United States is just simply unheard of in other countries. My oldest son is 16 years old, and before we left the United States, we were always having conversations with him about what you need to do when you encounter a police officer. Make sure you have your hands up. Make sure you don't have your hoodie on. Make sure you got your hands outside your pocket. And if you take your hands outside your pockets, make sure you don't have a phone. Make sure you don't have no keys or anything that closely resembles a pow-pow. I haven't had to have any of those conversations with my black boys while living in Mexico.
So I'm moving from Houston, Texas to Doha, Qatar. I'm actually leaving Houston and moving to the Middle East. I knew the day I was leaving was unavoidable, so I tried to stay busy. I met up with friends one last time for drinks, and my going away event at Golden Corral was beyond legit. But the days leading to my departure, and especially the day of, I don't think anybody could have prepared me for that. It was one of the hardest things ever. That's what she said. But, everything I've done professionally and personally has led up to this moment. If you really know me, this move isn't a huge shock. I got bit by the travel bug early in life. Then after I went to London in 2007 for work, I knew I wanted to live abroad. I didn't really care where it was, but I knew it would happen some point. Heading to the airport the day of, my wife and kids drove me, and we were followed by my parents. I unpacked my luggage onto the cart, and it was almost like life was in slow motion. But I knew I had to get on that flight, so I started replaying everything in my head, and I wondered if this was the right decision. But in my heart of hearts, I knew that it was, and I knew that this decision would single-handedly change the trajectory of my entire family. People like us, we don't get these opportunities often, and if you're asked to go and you decline, you don't get asked again. This has to happen. There's no turning back.
So living in Thailand as a black person is not a flex. Ooh, some of y'all gonna be mad, but let me explain. Seeing all these black people wanting to get up and move to Thailand, and they're telling you, oh, it's so easy to do. Oh, you can do it. Which you can, but it's a lot that goes into doing this. As an American, you can come to Thailand and you can be here for 60 days without having a visa. After that 60 days, you need to decide if you want to do a visa run, which pretty much means you are going to another country and coming back, or if you're going to extend your stay for another 30 days. Now, that's what a lot of people are doing, but this is how people get in trouble. Government is stopping a lot of this stuff, okay? And you can only do that, I think, like twice out of the entire year. But the problem is this: people are starting to abuse the system, and this here government here in Thailand, they are getting winds of what's going on. What you're seeing is a bunch of people trying to come here and flex and say, you know, I'm here, but they're really on something called an education visa, where they are taking a couple of classes. I believe you can be here for like a year or something like that. Don't quote me, but I'll give the information, the proper information. But the education visas are like some of the easiest visas to get, and it allows you to stay in the country for at least a year. Now, when we're talking about a real flex, the real flex is the DTV visa, which is the digital nomad visa. And the reason why you don't see a lot of people telling you about the DTV visa is because you have to have $15,000 in the bank at the time that you apply for that visa. Although you're seeing all these black people coming here telling you, I'm in Thailand, I'm living here, I'm living there. But at the end of the day, you do it how you do it. I ain't hating on you, but I am here for the long game, not for the short game. My game got to be a smarter game than, you know, someone in their 20s and 30s. Please do not come over here to Thailand if you do not have any money, honey, because you will soon find out that stuff here is not cheap. It's affordable, but it's definitely not cheap, and you need some income. But this is what I'm saying. If you young and just want to have some fun, come on over here to Thailand. It's not a real big flex, to be honest. You got $15,000 sitting in the bank, and if you want to be in Thailand for 5 years, definitely the digital nomad visa is where it's at.
I left the US indefinitely in order to move to Asia. Currently, I live in Bali, and this is my incredible view. Currently talking to you guys from my balcony, watching this beautiful view, but there are some downsides to living in Bali. Number one, and the most annoying out of them, is that there is only one main road in Bali. One main road. It is one lane going either direction. So there's so much traffic. There's so much traffic that you must ride a scooter bike. You have to in order to get around anywhere. I'm about to drive 11 miles. It is going to take me over an hour to get just 11 miles. In saying that, Bali is an island. It's not a country. Indonesia is where Bali is located at. There are other parts of Indonesia that are more developed than Bali, but for the most part, Bali is an island, so it's the island life. You gotta put up with it.
Now they want to know why the gays are leaving. So I scoured the comments again, and the general consensus is we think we next. Yeah, we think we next. With them rolling back women's rights and a rhetoric around trans people and black and brown people, we just feel like everything is rolling back to the 1950s, 60s, whatever. Hell, in some instances, the 1800s. So basically, the LGBTQIA community just has this eerie fear that we are next on the chopping block, and we do not want to stick around to find out. The double whammy is if you are gay and black or brown, you just really feeling it from both ends. Like, you just kind of feel uneasy, you feel unwanted, you feel like you don't belong. A lot of people are just like, you know what, I'm not happy here. I want to go somewhere else where the laws are moving in the right direction. Us personally, we want to move somewhere where we feel safe and where it would be safe to raise our future kids. So what is it for you? What was the last straw for you? What made you want to leave?
I finally did it. I finally moved out the country, and I couldn't be any happier. This has honestly been a long time coming, and even though I didn't feel 100% ready, God told me to just go. There's so many reasons I decided to leave America, but I think the hardest part for me was leaving my family and my friends. That was tough because they didn't even know that I was moving. Nobody knew. And I had to keep it that way because I didn't want anyone trying to stop me or instill any doubt or fear in me. I mean, there's actually nothing scary about moving abroad. If you make a plan, you do your research, and have enough savings, why not? If that's what you feel called to do, what else would be stopping you? At least that's how I think. You only have one life to live, and I want to experience all there is to experience in this world. To really experience different cultures, learn a new language, and live like a local. My soul just needs that, and I'm so grateful for all the memories I made in America, but now it's time for something new, and this is only the beginning. So here's to creating your own path in life and living unapologetically fearless.
So it's like, where are the most black expat communities, the largest black expat communities? Because clearly, like, if there's a lot of people there, then like there's a reason.
Right.
Are y'all ready for the list? Mexico City, Mérida, Mexico.
Huh?
Mérida.
Let's slow that down.
Let me say en gringo. Merida, Mexico. Panama City, Panama, Costa Rica. So there's a city called Puerto Viejo. And we have Colombia. So there's Cartagena and Medellin. Lisbon or Lisboa. UAE, so Dubai. And then we have Accra, Ghana, Bali, and Thailand.
How long do I plan to live abroad? America is more dangerous, more stressful, and more expensive than any foreign country I've ever lived in. And so when people ask me, well, how long do you plan on living abroad? The answer is truly, as long as it's more beneficial to do so. And I don't see any time in the near future where America is suddenly cheaper, less stressful, and can offer me as high as a quality of life as I can get elsewhere. If you're interested in moving abroad, click the link in my bio.
Let's talk about the 6 island countries I would flee to if I just wanted to leave my home country and start a completely new life. Hey everybody, my name is Candace. I talk about living the global lifestyle, buying property abroad, and a whole bunch of random stuff, so welcome. So my list comprises of 6 gorgeous Caribbean islands, each of which gives American citizens up to 6 months of visa-free stay. So both of these beautiful island countries are of course in the Caribbean, and they both allow American citizens to live 6 months there visa-free. So you could essentially live 6 months in Antigua, 6 months in St. Kitts. The second Caribbean island combo on my list is Dominica and Jamaica. Both of these island countries allow American citizens to stay up to 6 months visa-free. So again, you could spend 6 months in Dominica and 6 months in Jamaica. And last but certainly not least is the Caribbean island combination of St. Vincent and St. Martin. Both of these beautiful countries give American citizens up to 6 months of visa-free stay. Actually, any combination of these island countries would give you the freedom and flexibility to live outside of the United States without necessarily needing a second passport or needing any sort of long-term visa requirements to stay. These island country options would be perfect for people who are digital nomads, people who would want to bring some sort of value to the island countries by starting some sort of business and providing job opportunities or things of that nature. This would also be a perfect option for anyone who is a retiree or you have independent income and you can live anywhere and you have that freedom and flexibility. This would be perfect if island life is for you. Let me know what you all think in the comments, and as always, be sure to like this video, save this video, share this video, and follow me for more.
Welcome to a day in the life of a black man in Portugal. Go to the farmer's market every Saturday. Tons of fruit, tons of vegetables. There's really nothing that they don't have that's edible. You see olives right here. Those fruit cups that we just passed were absolutely amazing. Candy. I asked if those were psychedelic mushrooms. They said no, sir, not here. Perfect. Ton of flowers. I had to get more fruit, man. The fruit here is just, it's second to none from what I've had. Spices, chocolate. It looks like they just cut the pig and placed them on the counter. Tons of cheese. Let me stop before I get constipated just looking at the cheese. So the farmer's market is literally down the street from the busiest street and probably the most popular street in all of Porto. The name of the street will be in the caption. But this is where the mall is. This is where everyone goes to people watch, to shop, tons of cafes. And the Majestic Cafe is also on that same street as well. Of course, your boy got hungry after a long day of shopping for some fruits and vegetables. I had to go get my empanadas. These are the best empanadas in Porto. I'll put the name of the restaurant in the title, and they also gave your boy a shout out.
If you are someone who is looking to move out of the United States, start a digital nomad journey, and really just live abroad, especially in light of this election news, keep watching this video to the end and make sure you save it for later so you can return to it, because I'm going to be telling you how I started my living abroad journey and about how you can start your living abroad journey and digital nomad journeys too. First things first, if you are a black woman, I just want to encourage you and let you know that you are not alone. There are so many black women all over the world who are starting their digital nomading and black expat journeys, and you do not have to feel afraid or feel doubtful about that, because black women, you are deserving of a much better quality of life. You do not have to try to heal in the environments that have gotten you sick, and you do not have to tolerate staying and being in the United States, especially when they are hell-bent on trying to attack us at every single term, okay? So black women, I just want to let you know you are not alone, and you can start that living abroad journey if you trust in God and take that leap of faith, okay? In terms of how I was able to start my digital nomad journey, I was following people like Stephanie Perry, Rashida Dow, Picky Girl Travels the World, and they gave a lot of helpful resources on how you can start your expat journey, even if you are not a black woman who has a lot of income. In terms of how me and my best friend are able to afford living here abroad, we have our online businesses, and if you're interested in our guide on how you can make money online, make sure that you head to justforblackgirls.com/shop so that way you can get our guide that can also help you jumpstart your digital nomad and living abroad journey, okay? So a lot of people ask us how we're able to afford living abroad. How do we make money? Azay and I make money through our online businesses and through using social media. Online platforms and social media is a booming financial network and resource. And black women, if you are looking to be financially free, and if you're looking to have workplace freedom and work on your own time, becoming your own boss is a pivotal tool that you can use so that way you can really achieve the lifestyle of your dreams, okay? By me and Azay becoming our own bosses, starting our online businesses, we now are able to live abroad in Mexico without working for a remote job for another company. Like, we are our own bosses, and it's a different level of freedom. Black girls who were in the corporate space or who were working in any kind of hostile, toxic work environment, you know how difficult it is to take care of yourself mentally when you have to show up for a company that you know don't care about you, okay? So if you want to move abroad, because in my opinion, there are like two major routes you can take if you want to live abroad and become a digital nomad or black expat in terms of money, okay? You can go the remote job route, and you can get a remote job that will allow you to work from anywhere for a company, and that's a great route if that's what you want to do. Or you can do the route that is you becoming your own boss, you building your own businesses and brand, and you working to build build your own business, okay? That's remote work, build your own business. Azay and I are on our own business route, and it has been extremely freeing and successful and positive. And we also encourage and help black women start their own businesses and learn how to monetize their social media platforms with very small followings in order for them to also achieve that workplace freedom and the lives that we're all hoping and dreaming of. So black women, you do not have to have a whole lot in order to move abroad, okay? You don't even have to fulfill all of the financial solvency, residency requirements. You can actually travel and live in certain countries for up to 6 months or even a year without fulfilling all of those financial requirements. I know that Mexico is one of those countries, and it's possible, okay? In light of this election news, black women, if you want to start your living abroad journey, definitely get your passport. Head to Stephanie Perry on YouTube, Rashida Dow on YouTube, Picky Girl Travels the World on YouTube, and start doing your research and get that process started, because it is not too late to start your living abroad and digital nomad journeys. And I know if God can bless myself and Azay's businesses and allow us to live abroad and just achieve a much better quality of life, I know God can and will do that for you if you trust in him. So black women who are tired of being in the United States, you've already been thinking about taking the leap, and this election was just a cherry on top. I encourage you to take a leap of faith and really dive into starting your living abroad journey. If you're a black girl and you have a passport, you can be out, and I encourage you to be out. So I love you, and if you have any questions about how myself and Azay's experiences have been here in Mexico, or how our experiences have been abroad, please follow our pages, follow us on YouTube, follow us here on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, because we're going to be sharing a lot about our journeys living abroad and a lot more about how you all can also start the journey of living abroad too. I love you so much, and I hope that you all have a better day, and I hope that this gives you some reprieve and hope despite this crazy election season news. I'm hot, y'all. I'm sweating. I love y'all, and I hope that this helps. If you have any questions, drop them down below. And if you're interested in getting our guide that can teach you how to make money online using social media with a small following, and this guide that can help you to jumpstart your online businesses so that way you can make the move abroad, definitely head to justforblackgirls.com/shop and get our Be Your Own Boss guide, because it is an amazing resource that tells you how myself and Azay were able to start our own businesses, our own very successful online businesses, so we can make this move. Love y'all. See y'all in the next one. Bye.
A lot of resources online for black women, black men. Said if you decide to leave the country, but this is the perfect time and the opportunities are there, because most of the works right now you can just do it online, or you can do it from any place on the planet. I actually have a friend. He's one of my best friends. He moved to the Philippines. He always worked for IT, and he was working for IT for a San Francisco company. I don't know what it was the name of the company, but I know the company was located in San Francisco. So they decided that they're gonna send everybody home, okay? And then they sent everybody home, and he moved to Vegas. And after he moved to Vegas, he was like a year and a half here in Vegas. He just decided that he just gonna leave the country. And he was just really close to retire. He wasn't completely there, but he did have the money to retire. If he decided to retire early, he's gonna get like 30% less money anyways. But he just did the math, and he just thought, well, if I just get 30% less of the money, I can still retire, but I cannot retire in the United States, but I can definitely retire in the Philippines. So he just made the math, and he just noticed that if he just retired only with something that he have, it was like a private retirement that he have accumulated. He used that private retirement, he can be able to retire in the Philippines, and that's what he did. He just packed his stuff. He sold all of his things that he have. He just only packed like 5 boxes. And he just sent it in the mail for the Philippines, and he just got like 2 big suitcases, and he just left. And then he found a girlfriend. He was just talking to somebody here, to somebody in the Philippines, to someone in the Philippines, and he met that person, and then he hit it off, and then he got married like a year later. He got married with this girl from the Philippines. And right now he's just living in the Philippines. He just built, well, in the Philippines you cannot own property. That's the only thing. The property is under her name. That I think is like, he want to take that risk, that's okay. I just I'm not here to judge anybody, but the property is in her name, because people that is no, if you are not a Filipino national, you cannot own property. But he just did the math, and he just said, well, I just been living here in the Philippines like for 4 years already. 4 years. He just spent 4 years. Like 2 years already, so something like that. And I just been paying rent. If I just build a house in the Philippines, it's gonna cost me like $50,000. And if I can live in this house for like 10 more years, the math add up. I'm living in my own house, I'm living more comfortably. And they completely went off the grid too, because they have like a solar panels, and they don't have to pay the electricity bills. And he made in the house something like he can collect the raining water, so they don't pay no bills. They don't pay no water bills, no electricity bills, no that. And he built the house. I think it was maybe like $80,000 or $50,000, something like that. He told me that he paid for the house, and he's just been really happy. I was talking to him couple days ago, and he just said like, oh, I want to come back to America, but I just don't know if I want to, because I've been so happy in the Philippines that I don't even know if I want to mess up my marriage going to the Philippines. And I'm like, oh, you have to kind of think about it. You just have to, it's a risk. If you want to come back here, you know that it's a risk, but he's happy, and that's what it counts.
I am counting down the days until we can leave the United States. Every day I'm stuck here feels like another day wasted. It feels like another day of not eating real food, another day of not having health care, and another day of not being able to go anywhere or do anything, because there's no such thing as a third space in this country. It is the most frustrating thing in the world, knowing exactly where you want to go and not being able to do it yet. Whether that's waiting on the visa or immigration bureaucracy, or just being stuck in the state of Florida like me. I'm not delusional, okay? I know Portugal isn't perfect. We've been there, okay? We felt the difference, the food, the people, the culture. And being stuck in this holding pattern is such a horrible feeling when you know you're leaving and you can't go yet. yet, and you are on the sinking ship, and there's nothing you can do. You can't just pack your bag, pick up, and leave overnight. Immigration isn't romantic. It's paperwork, it's compromise, and a lot of waiting. I know I'm not alone in this. If you're also stuck in this weird in-between waiting period right now, just know that there are other people right there with you. At the end of the day, we just put one foot in front of the other. It's not a matter of if, it's when. The very latest, I'll be there this time next year. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's not that long. But every day we're trapped here is just another reminder as to why we're leaving. And when the time comes, we're not looking back.
Why I left the US and will never go back there. The biggest reason why I will not be returning to live in the US is because it is a failed society. I don't think that Americans realize that the way that they live is not actually normal when you compare it to the rest of the world. It's not normal to not have healthcare. It's not normal to be in crippling amounts of debt from going to school or going to a hospital. It's not normal to be afraid of gun violence, for there to be a threat of gun violence in your school. It doesn't matter if it's a developed country or an underdeveloped country. It's not normal to only have two choices when it comes to politics and who runs your country. It's not normal to have a 79% literacy rate and half the country cannot read above a 5th grade level. My family and I immigrated to the United States when I was 5 years old. And in that time, my mom worked herself to the bone. We barely saw our mother because she was always at work. She never had time for herself. She's barely gone on vacation. Her life has literally centered around work for the last 25 years. And so my mom essentially sacrificed her life and her happiness in order to work. And when I returned to the US after living in Europe for 3.5 years, all I was doing was working. I would wake up super early in the morning, commute for 1 hour, go to work for 8 hours, commute for another hour, and then I would have 2 hours to myself before I had to go to bed in order to do the same thing in the morning again. All for 2 weeks of vacation time. And I want you guys to know that this is not normal. In some countries, the minimum that an employee will get off of work is 6 weeks. In some countries, women get years off to spend with their newborn child. After my mom gave birth to my brother, she was back at work after 2 weeks. When I was going to school in the US, I constantly had anxiety that our school was going to be shot up. And this is not normal. I want you guys to understand it, because when I was talking to my friends who also went to school in the US, they said the exact same thing, that they always had anxiety that someone would come into the school and shoot it up. And so I essentially chose peace when I decided to leave the US. I do not feel any sort of allegiance to this country because the US does not have allegiance to me as a Black woman. Black women are overwhelmingly more prone to experiencing poverty than any other ethnic group in the United States. Black women are also more likely to die in childbirth in the United States. It has one of the highest maternal mortality rates. And so why should I choose to work myself to the bone for decades to get nothing in return, to not even be able to retire comfortably for a country that doesn't care?
Made it towards the end of this video. Please help us to support liberal media, giving a like to this video, subscribing to this channel. Yes, the MAGA nuts, they have all the likes, they have all the subscribes, they have all the time view, but the liberal media doesn't have that much. So help us to support liberal media. And here, if you want to send me money for a coffee, I leave you all the information for you can send me money for a coffee. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.